two 2 gig sticks here, so I got 4 gig on this thing, and we're ready to go here. So that's installed, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up the chassis again. Move this up for a moment. And with this chassis, you've got a location back here. We're going to install, and I recommend doing this before you put the motherboard in. Let's put the power supply in this thing. So you've got 4 screws that hold this back plate on here. So just remove those things, and then we'll put the power supply in, and you'll grab 4 more screws that either came with your power supply, or you can get them that they came right out of the bag of tools. Just so it's easier for me to work on, I'm just going to take this, put it on the side like that, and show you. Got my fan, again I got my Cooler Master, and for FX, they really recommend they have at least a 500 gig or 500 watt power supply. I got a 550 from Cooler Master here. Fan goes down, simply just drop the power supply in here. And actually, what I should do, what I'm going to do first, is I can install this back plate right on the power supply, like so. I can take the 4 screws here, like I have, line up the holes, and let's see, we got them there. Okay. Line up the screws. And again, it's the same size screws we took out the back, so it's nice. You don't have to worry about mixing them up. You can reuse them in multiple locations. So I'm going to get this thing on here first. And tighten that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop it in to the back of this chassis here. Oops. Chassis, so. Only goes in one way, so it's pretty straightforward. Fan goes down so we can get the air. Drop it in the chassis, like we have. Just pull the wires out right now. I'm not going to worry about the wiring yet. I really like to have nice clean wiring. Once I put everything neat in there, it just, it just looks better, works better. And if I ever have to do any upgrades, it's easy to work on. So again, here, line up the screw holes, put those screws we took out already back in. And same type of thing. Let's get them all started before we tighten them down. Get that started. Get that started. And this last one, get this last one started. Now I got 4 screws that are in the power supply, and now I'm doing the 4 screws right actually on the chassis. I'll tighten them down. And the thing is, I don't do this every day. I'm a marketing guy. So I am, by any means, not an expert. I know a lot of you guys who are watching this may be experts in it. I apologize. I'm really doing not quite the order you would do it in, but that's the point. You really have a lot of flexibility to do it the way you want to do it. Okay? So the wiring here gets it out of the way. We also have all this wiring that's actually part of the chassis. You got 2 USBs, you got FireWire, you got audio, and then you got your front panel wiring. So put those in also. So, got the power supply in, got that in, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, well, since I have it open already, I'm also just finish the chassis here. So, nice thing about this chassis, again, open it up very easily. I'm going to open up these front flaps here. I know I'm going to put a DVD optical drive in, so I'm taking out, pops out, nice little cover here, and I know I'm going to put the hard drive in. So the hard drive, I'm taking out the last 4 of these things, put them to the side right now, and then I'm going to release this. So then this carriage, that's the carriage right now where the DVD goes in, or the hard drive goes in, pops right in. Now they put this thing in. You pull off each plate. It's labeled very clearly left side, and it shows up and up. So I'll take that side off. I'll take this side off, same type of thing. And it has an extra fan here to keep the hard drive cool. So we'll get this fan out of the way. But I'm going to take and grab hard drive. This hard drive is unbelievable. Right now we're looking at a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and you know these things used to cost $1,000 or so for something much smaller. And these things are going to range from $50 to $70. It's a nice Western Digital drive here. I got a lot of great partners out there. They can definitely use, so I'm going to grab some additional screws. Again, it just happens to be the exact same size as what we have, what we've been using, and they're pretty consistent. There's 3 screws here, and all you really need is 2 on each side. So get those done, put that on, put that down, and I know that this says the right side, and we're going to grab the right plate here, put that right back on, and you notice I pulled out the little fan wire. Get that out of the way for now. Same thing on this side. I was able to tighten that side up because I have a little bit of flexibility here to adjust. Get this one started. And do the same thing over here. Okay. So now I have the hard drive done, installed. So just get it out of the way, slide it back in nicely, and you'll see it lines up. And you can actually go back and add additional screws in here, just for safety if you want. This thing just locks in like that, locks in, beautiful. I can put these plates back in, and this little carriage here allows you to put up to 3 hard drives in there, which is nice. Okay, so I have that all installed now. Pretty straightforward. Now I mentioned I'm going to put a DVD drive in here also. So I'm going to grab this little optical drive here. Optical drive, pretty standard. There's nothing fancy about it, just a DVD drive. This thing in here, you put this in here, it'll actually click in with this drop and lock in there. I close the flaps, put this in here, and then you have the option to go back. If you're going to be doing any movement with this chassis, I would recommend putting the screws back in here to lock them in, which you have the opportunity to, but since we're not going to be moving it, I'm just putting it in. And most of you guys will probably not install it either. I'm not going to either. Okay. Back to my hard drive, or back to my motherboard. Motherboard all installed on the board. Beautiful little slot, just slides right in. And I could put the water cooling unit on it now, but I have to get to some cabling, so I'm going to go do a little wiring before I do that. So, a little something to help you see a little bit better. I'm going to prop this up so you can see inside a little bit better. And I'm going to close this thing up. Okay, there's the fan from up front. That's good to go. Let's go ahead and put the main power source wire. Pretty straightforward. Goes right on the motherboard, but in one location. It's a main source. Now, also on this board, on many boards you have either a 4-wire or 8-pin or a 4-pin video power on the motherboard. This one actually has 8 because it draws a little bit more juice. So you got your 8-pin right here, and I'm just going to drop that thing right into this front slot up on the front of the motherboard, and that's on there. Okay. So then since we're powering everything up, we might as well continue with the power. Okay. We have a couple of unique powers. We actually have SATA power for the hard drive, and we have a 4-pin from your standard power that goes to, you want to be traditionally seen the 4-pin wire. So I'm going to start with the SATA first. Get the wiring out here. It's a little different looking, a little L-shaped compared to the traditional 4-pin. Okay. So take that, and I'm going to pop it in here, and we actually have options, but again, it's nice. This is made for dropping 3 more or 2 additional in there. The L shape of this thing always goes toward the middle, whether you're putting the SATA cable on or the power cable on. So that's the only thing I'm going to have there.